Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hugo and today we're going to see what's going to be the best stocks for this week. Most of the stocks, as you can see by the thumbnail, is going to be related to petrol and gas, and having in consideration the high price in certain areas going to reach the €2. These stocks have a big impact on this week, also because the energy sector went quite high during this week and was the only sector that went high. So now let's have a look into the best stocks for this week. So we're going to start with one of the stocks that I already spoke in this channel, which is the ticker MPLX. This is LP. MPLX has a dividend yield of 8.71%. They pay quarterly February, May, August, and November. They are undervalued 33.8%. The ex-dividend date is going to be on May 5th, and the financial health is going to be score is going to be 2 of 6, meaning that they fail in the short-term liabilities, in the long-term liabilities and debit level, and on the reduction debits. They have around 1.5 billion in assets and around 3.2 billion in liabilities. So this means that in terms of financial health is not the best. The market sentiments, although we have a buy, they went down quite a lot during the past month. As you can see in the graph, they went down the past 2 weeks, but even going down, they have a future growth of 2.9%. is not great, although the past performance was 14%, which was good. And I think this is a stock that you should have on your watch list. If you don't have it, it should be one, and it's one of the stocks with a really high dividend yield. In resume, beside the future growth is not being quite strong, we still have an undervalue of 33%, and the dividend yield is quite interesting. And we still have time to buy this stock. The next ticker is going to be ET Energy Transfer LP. It's one of the stocks that I have on my portfolio for a long time. They pay a dividend yield of 7.02%. They pay quarterly February, May, August, and November. They are undervalued 42.3%. It's much better in terms of undervalue than the other one, but this is 1% in terms of dividend yield less than the previous one. The ex-dividend date is going to be on the 6th of May. We have a better financial health with a score of 3 over 6, meaning that they fail in the short and long-term liabilities, and in terms of debit level, it's quite high. In terms of assets, they have around 6.1 billion in assets, and in terms of liabilities, 6.2 billion in liabilities, which I don't think is too much of a concern. We do have here a really strong buy. The stock went down quite a lot, but although the future growth is at minus 3.3%, and the past performance was 20.2%, even having in consideration everything that's happening in Ukraine and Russia, with a cut of gas, I think the future growth should be higher than expected here. With minus 3%, I don't think this is going to be real. Actually, we still need to wait for the another report, but I do think the future growth is going to be higher for energy transfer. Although I do believe in this stock, and is one of the stocks that I have on my portfolio. The next ticker, Sunok LP. It's they have a dividend yield of 7.71%. They pay quarterly February, May, August, and November. They are undervalued in 42.3%. The ex-dividend date is going to be on the 6th of May. The financial health is 2 of 6. This means that they fail on the long-term liabilities, debit level, reduction debits, and on the debit coverage. And in terms of assets, they have around 1.1 billion, and in terms of liabilities, around 900 million. Meaning that in terms of financial health, is one of the best that I've spoke so far, and we have a market sentiment of a buy, although the stock went high in the past month. But we have here a future growth of 2.6% and in the past performance of 45.1%. From the three, I think this is the best so far. The next ticker is ETRN, Equitrans Midstream Corp. They have a dividend yield of 7.59%. They pay quarterly February, May, August, and November. They are undervalued in 61.8%. This is one of the things that I like on this stock. The ex-dividend is going to be on the 3rd of May, so you won't have time to buy this one. But it's one that you should have on your watch list. In terms of financial health, it's one of the best that we have so far, with a 5 of 6, meaning that they only fail in the long-term liabilities. In terms of assets, they have around 400 million, and in terms of liabilities, around 300 million. They have a lower market cap as the other ones, but we have here future growth of 91.2%, which is amazing, and with a past performance of minus 26.4%. This could be the risk of this stock. It could be medium per se. I don't think it's high, and we have here a really interesting future growth of 91.2%, even being under value of 61%. And I think we have here the winner for this week. We have here the dividend yield of 7.59%, although it's not compared to the other 8 that we have on MPLX. But I think this is great due to the other factors, which is being undervalued in 61%, with a future growth of 91%, which is really hard to find now. Having this in consideration, I do think this should be a stock to have on your portfolio, even if you don't win the dividends for this quarter. The next ticker is going to be outside of the energy sector. It's going to be Lazard, with the ticker LAZ. They are an investment bank. They operate on the financial advisory and the asset management firm in the North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and South America. They have a dividend yield of 5.51%, is one of the lowest that we have for this week. They pay quarterly February, May, August, and November. They are undervalued 58.7%, and the ex-dividend date is going to be on the 6th of May. So you do have time to buy this one. The financial health is 5 of 6, meaning that they fail on the debt reduction and on the interest coverage. In terms of assets, they have around 4.5 billion. In terms of liabilities, around 1.4 billion. The market sentiment, we have a buy. They went down quite a lot during the past month, as we can see, but we have only a future growth of minus 7%. Actually, we don't have any future growth, and the past performance was 1.9%. But this is one of the stocks that I found during this week that we had a dividend yield of more than 5%, and I thought that was interesting to bring it. But the future growth, for me, it's a no, because it doesn't cover the dividend yield that I'm going to gain. Last but not the least, for this week, we have the monthly stock, which is Main Street Capital, one of the stocks that I have on my portfolio for a long time, since the beginning, and they have a dividend yield of 6.24%, and the ex-dividend date is going to be on the 2nd of May. So the last week markets, we did see that everything went down quite a lot. We have the Nasdaq with minus 3.2%, and SP500 with 2.69%. The only market that actually managed to grow was the Chinese market with a 2.51%, and this is due to the fact that the Chinese companies now are open for the external markets, and now most of the reports of the Chinese companies are public, and this created more trust on the market, on the Chinese market. That's why the Chinese market started to increase in the past few weeks. The most affected markets in the past week was the real estates, with a minus 5.30%, as you can see in the top. Then we have the actually it's worse than the real estate, which is the consumer discrete sector, with a decrease of 7.36%, and the only sector that actually managed to be positive in the past few days was actually the energy sector and the materials, which we're going to see in the heat map. So in terms of the heat map, we have the Facebook with a positive growth with a 8.89%. And Microsoft with 1.72%, and CRM with increase of 2.63%. All the others, big tech, Google and Apple, they went down quite a lot. With Nvidia, VGO, Intel went down. I don't know why. We have here Nvidia, VGO, and Intel with a decrease, and AMD with an increase, almost an average of 5% between all of them. Could be two factors. One is there are more chips coming to the market now. The graphic cards now decrease the price for almost 20% since the top size. Although people are not consuming, and people are not buying because they are getting afraid of what's going to happen in the market. So no cars are being sold. There's a full cycle of and that consumes chips, and that's why they are getting lower this week. We don't have per se any sector that are quite positive. Only the health sector has Pfizer and with being positive during the past week. All the rest are quite affected, with Amazon with minus 13%. This was never seen before. They were undervalued, of course, as Tesla. We have also Tesla with a decrease of 13%. But Tesla, we have here a different factor, which is Elon Musk buying Twitter. This could be one of the reasons as well why the stock went down. So now let's have a look into the markets for this week. In terms of the SP500, we did have here, we are in no man's lands. We don't longer know what's going to happen in the market, although we still see here a decrease. Let's move this for the 5 days. On the 5 days, we're still going to see the next week a decrease, where we're going to hit, probably we're going to hit another 300 to 500 pips less. So I'm going to point around the 3,500 as average. We have here a new level, and probably we're going to reach this level around here, which is going to hit another minus 10% per se. We may reach this point here. If we increase this, we see the market is still trying to decrease, and we may reach a new all-time low since the beginning of February, which was the all-time lows during this year. In terms of the Bitcoin, I did cross these lines for a long time. Now we are starting to consolidate around the 38,000, which is quite good. On the next 5 days, we may see an increase, and that's what's going to happen. Although I do think we're going to follow the market, the SP500, and we may see another fall, and we could reach the 38k. Although we have here some two supports around here. So if you don't pass the resistance around the 38,600, we may go fall for the next 36,000, which is going to be the next support, or the 38,200. Okay guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed the tips for this week. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like. That will help me with the YouTube algorithm. And once again, if you want to comment and if you want to see more in these videos, please let me know, and I'll try to put it on the next upcoming video. Once again, thank you, cheers, and see you next week.